Nothing Wrong with Orange and Blue podcast.
Hey, Broncos country. It's a Tuesday night, impromptu. We didn't really put it out there that we were doing this. There's a reason for it, and we'll get to that in a minute, but it's exciting. We're excited to be here. Isaiah, what's up, buddy?
What's up? Feeling much better today. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
You look better. Here's cheers.
Yes,
you know what? I wanted to
feel better. I feel better. Yesterday was it was a rough day, but I'm back. So glad to be here. Got some things to talk about. I'm just excited, Johnny. How you doing today?
So you know what? I have not slept. As of right now, I have not slept in about 36 hours. I'm feeling it, but
yeah, you texted me early yesterday. I was like,
I got off work this morning. And I have been up all day. Had to go to Sam's Club and pick up some stuff for the house, and spent the last 4 hours building a bunk bed. So fun stuff. Well, it's a loft bed, but either way.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, real quick, here we go. Everybody, welcome back to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. We're happy to have you guys here. We have a special guest. We're going to bring him on here in a few moments because in addition to talking Broncos news, we have some very big news of our own regarding the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. So we're going to go ahead and go into this real quick. Let's see. Lindsay's our first commenter of the night. She says, "Hey, buddies. Me and Jacob and AB are there." Wow, the whole fam. Awesome.
Well, thanks, guys. Welcome to the show.
I love you guys, and we miss you. Okay, so real quick, here we go. So real quick, we're just going to go into it. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear tonight with us, guys, like, subscribe, share, comment. As Isaiah loves to say it, hit that notification bell.
Yes.
All right, because that'll let you know when we go live. And just get us out there, y'all. I mean, we have good opinions. We are good dudes. We are fun. We're best friends in real life. So we are constantly ribbing each other, and our energy, it's pretty unique because it's not just two dudes just talking Broncos. It's two best friends who literally are best friends outside of this podcast talking Broncos. So we have that. So it's fun.
This is true.
You can find us.
If it wasn't.
It is. Sometimes we get on each other's nerves, but that's also best friends. So
yes,
you can find us on Twitter at Nothing Rhymes with 2 underscores. You can find us on Facebook.com/Nothing Rhymes DB4L. Denver Broncos for life. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We have our own RSS feed now. Nothing Rhymes, WOrangeBlue.sounder.fm. That's a little ridiculous though. So if you to go to that, if you don't want to, you can find us now on Spotify and Stitcher. We're still pending being on TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, but that will be soon. So if you like just listening to audio, that's one way to do it. All right. You can find us on YouTube as well. If you haven't already, just search, and this has changed, Isaiah, as of last night. It is now just Nothing Rhymes Podcast on YouTube. It was, we were able to make that work with the marketing, and it's much shorter for people to type in, so they're much more apt to do so.
So you mean for the link, it doesn't have that WX2/ all that other stuff?
No, it's not that. It's just that whenever they search, they don't have to search Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast and type that whole thing out. They can just type Nothing Rhymes podcast, and that will take you right to us.
Progress
is wonderful. So, hey, awesome, guys. We've done all that. Like, share, subscribe, to hit that notification bell. Ding. We love you guys, and we want you guys to be joining us every single week. And we have more reason for it now. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our special guest. He's a friend. We love this guy. He has been on our podcast before. When Isaiah was unable to host, he jumped at absolute last minute. This guy was a trooper and jumped on with like less than 30 minutes notice and guest hosted for an hour with me one night. And he's a true friend of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue, and we love him to death. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring him on. Please welcome at Broncos Wizard, Mundungus Creevy, the host of the MHRT podcast.
If I had a soundboard, I would have put a round of applause right there, but I don't have a soundboard, so I clapped.
Yeah, progress. Yes, progress. So speaking of progress, Mundungus, do you want to tell them or do you want us to tell them?
You are more than welcome to tell them. It's your announcement, and I'll just explain if you want me to.
Sounds good. So here's the exciting news, everybody. Isaiah, can you give me just a little drum roll or something? Because this is pretty exciting.
I need a soundboard.
Yeah, I know. We'll get one. We'll get one. All right. The Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast is officially joining the MHRT family of Broncos podcasts. So for us, that's huge news. For us, that is huge news. So we're on here with Mundungus because he is the godfather of MHRT. He's the Papa Bear. Well, what do you want? Godfather.
Man, I'm sticking with that one now.
Hashtag, hey, tomorrow night, remember you need to
calling me McCreasy, so I'm sticking with Godfather now.
There you go. Tomorrow night for your new for your hashtag for a Thursday night podcast, hashtag Godfather. The Godfather. There it is. There it is.
Fantastic. That's
you
fantastic.
are the
Johnny texted me yesterday. The Broncos. Yeah, Johnny texted me yesterday. And he was like, hey, it was late. I was asleep. And he was like, hey, got some great big news. Come when you can. And I think I texted him. I was like, hey, I'm going to have to call you tomorrow. So I had to be at work at 06 this morning. So I'm up early. I was like, you know what? I think Johnny's off or he's about to get off work. So I called him. I was like, hey, Johnny, what's the deal? He's like, hey, big news. Just spoke with Mike and it's official. We'll be joining Mile High Roundtable. Or he texted me the information or whatever it was. And
you said that in a text?
No.
I read something somewhere.
No. I told him I have huge news. I need you to call me. I literally said it 3 times. ASAP.
It's either that's what it was.
You can't do that.
So I called him that morning. He told me it was. Then we later on started texting and discussing the situation. That's what it was. Yeah, so my mind started to get itself together.
Real quick, my brother-in-law has jumped on. Says, "Hi guys, love you all. Love you too,
What's
John.
up, John? Love you, brother,
buddy."
So it was it's very exciting and it was incredible. I mean, it's I don't even know. Honestly, I'm speechless. It's just we appreciate the opportunity and you deciding that, hey, I want to bring these on because, you're the godfather of MHRT. So
the godfather.
So that being said, who you and your crew decides to bring on, if you decide to bring someone else on, is very important. It's an important process because you can't just do that with anyone or anybody. So you doing that and giving us the opportunity means that A, you see something, B, we're doing something right, C, we can look now. We now have someone where we can look to even more than we did before for advice, for help, and for anything else that we need. And we can provide the same in reverse. So
and he has, yeah. And I agree with Isaiah, Mike. I absolutely do because like it validates us in a way. I mean, when Mike made me this offer, what was it, Michael? After it was like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, it was like 11:30 midnight, something like that.
Because I was at work.
Wait, Johnny. So you're telling me the Godfather made you an offer,
and I couldn't refuse.
That he couldn't refuse.
He made me an offer. Right. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Okay, just making sure I heard that right. I wasn't sure.
Anyway, so yeah, he made me this offer like 11:30 at night, and it's really it validates us because I literally asked him why. We have like 7 episodes out. Like we haven't even been on that long, man. Like, and he was like, no, we want you guys. And I reiterate that he said we, like, not just Mike, he said that Glenn wants us. And I think Mark, Boggins wants us in there. And I'm excited about it. Like, I cannot be more excited to be part of this. I can't wait to see the caricatures, Mike.
Yeah, Johnny, that's another thing.
Johnny should be done here soon.
Johnny was texting me. He was texting me these things. He's like, well, and it was a long list of things that were going to be able to be added once we join. And I was like, well, I didn't even know. I was like, damn, that's ridiculous. I mean, it was just, I'm excited as well. And this is going to be, ridiculous.
He made us an offer we couldn't refuse.
Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous.
And this is the thing, like MHRT I started MHRT almost a year ago, maybe a little under a year ago. And, I'd been doing, social media marketing and things like that and making videos for the bookstore that I own here. And so I'd been doing that for a while. So I kind of knew what I was doing. I'm not sitting here saying I know everything. Like, I'm still learning, but
yes, you do. You're the godfather.
But I've been doing it long enough that I was able to get MHRT through that initial, like, you hit a certain milestone in subscribers and then you
And then it
stall out.
plateaus,
And
yeah.
then you hit another milestone, and then you plateau again. And like I got to the point where it was like, I'm done. This is stupid. I hate it. I don't want to do it anymore. But I had Glenn back behind me. I had Boggins there helping, and Adon was there, and Rich was there, and we were able to kind of push it forward and keep going. And it got to the point where it's like, maybe we could make this, instead of just an MHRT podcast thing, make it more of a home for Broncos based fan led podcasts where, let's say they're just getting started and they're really, really good, but they might need some help with the marketing aspect, or
that's us. That's us. I don't know marketing.
Certain things like that. Like, let's bring them in and then they can use the platform that we've built and then have us as kind of sounding boards to be like, this is what I think you should do. This is where I think you should go. And that's kind of why we wanted to bring you in. Like, there's obviously a connection there between you two since you've been friends for so long that just kind of, you can tell. And it took a while for us at MHRT, at least, to figure out where we wanted to go, how we wanted to do it. And you guys just kind of stepped into it and was good to go. So it's like, if you can join us and we can hit the ground running, and all I've got to do is help you market, you guys are going to skyrocket. So, and even with that, like that 10, 20 minute call that we had yesterday, I started showing you things and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah. There's always more you can learn, and there's always more to it. And I like the and when you said that, it kind of resonated, the round table. And when I immediately think of King Arthur and how many nights he had at the round table. And it's just it's incredible that we're now joining the round table. We've been knighted by the Godfather. That doesn't even
hence why our logo is a knight. That's why our logo is a knight with a round table around it.
Yeah, I love it.
So we've been. Are we doing this right now? Are you going to knight us? Do you have a sword?
I got a pen. I found it sitting over here.
But so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was kneeling for my knighting.
When you first started,
you get the first episode in.
Fair enough. That's this Sunday.
So Johnny and I, we've been best friends for a long time. But we always talk shop. We always talk about the Broncos. But it wasn't until recently. So I've always had my setup, my podcast for something separate, for my separate ministry. I've already had that. Johnny didn't have that, so we always talked about, hey, we're going to do this podcast. We're going to do this podcast. We had a couple ideas before. We're going to do a script for filming and different stuff, and then it came to, we're going to do this podcast. And then this year, one day, Johnny calls me. He's like, I got it all. I'm like, it took me like a year and a half, 2 years to get the microphone here, wait till I can afford it to get the camera here. Then I had to go get the laptop at a separate time when I can afford it. And I got the audio interface at a certain time.
Hey, Rich.
What's up, Rich? And then I had to wait and get it piece by piece. And then Johnny calls me one day, hey, I got it all. I'm ready. I'm like, this son of a gun.
I'd already said it all. I had all the graphics created and backgrounds, and
3 weeks later, he's like, "Hey, I got the whole background. I got the logo. Check this out. I got the intro. I got the outro. Check this out." Hey, my dog just called me. We're joining him. I was like, "What?" So I just let.
No. I didn't tell you. I asked you. Are you okay with this?
No, he asked me, but we're sometimes what the other person's thinking. So I know you're a great guy. I know you run a great. I don't want to call it a company, unless you call it a company. You run a great, you're the Godfather.
You want to name it the Godfather,
great family.
Whatever
it's
you
a
want.
Family.
It's a family.
It's a family.
I'm on the day of my daughter's wedding.
So I'm ecstatic. I know you guys are. I love what you guys do. I love the round table effect. Because I love things about the Dark Ages, medieval times, the kind of Game of Thrones, things like that. So when it's a round table and a sword and King Arthur and the Knights of Templars, I love watching and reading stuff about that.
What is Rich? What? Okay, I
was like, what's an M9?
We are a mob. That's what I was wondering. We are a mob. Yeah, thank you, Rich. Thank you.
So the mob high round table?
No.
Apparently.
No, just no.
The mob high mob. Mafia.
The mob high mob. There you go.
Mile High Mafia.
But yeah, no, like I wanted, and the first thing I said to Johnny when I called him was like, listen, I don't want to change anything. I just want to add to it. And so like even when he called me yesterday, like I had this, he sent me the logo, and I was like, is this what you're talking about, or do you want to just keep it straight? And he's like, keep it regular. So it's like, okay. So like nothing is really going to change. We're just adding to it.
Yeah, we're making it better.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And like I said, that's truly like the two things that were the selling point for me that got us that made me say yes, we're doing this was one, that the marketing aspect, the fact that I know nothing about marketing. I don't think Isaiah does really either. But not okay. Rich says we will make you an orange and blue offer you can't refuse.
I like that.
Refuse.
Yep, there you go. I want to hear you do it in Pat Boland's voice, Richie Rich. We'll make you an offer you can't refuse. So, but anyway, so there was that, and then the other side of it was that you straight up said we want you as you are. Both Isaiah and I, we're ministers. We're ordained ministers. Now we don't always talk like it, but we are both ordained ministers, and we love that aspect of our lives and our past. It's a past for me. It's reality for him. But come as you are. It's one of my favorite things. And when you were like, no, we want you guys the way you are already. We just want to bring you into the fold.
And that's crazy because you see, and it's something you didn't have to do. I mean, there's how many other Broncos podcasts out there? There's plenty, but for some reason you see somebody, you got your circle, and then you decide to open your circle up to bring someone out of the cold. Hey, we see your, the previous job I worked at, there was a lot of homeless people around, so they had their territory and they had their circle, and so in order for them to open up and bring you into their circle was a big deal. So to me, this is a big deal. It's like opening up your arms from and adopting someone and bringing them in. That's a big deal. And it just shows the generosity and the compassion that your team has for anyone else. And it really speaks to Broncos country community. It really does. It really speaks to the Broncos country community. And it doesn't matter what our opinions are on any given topic of the Broncos. Hey, at the same time, if I'm sitting next to you at a game wearing a jersey, and you're sitting next to me at a game wearing a jersey, and if I'm rooting for Drew Lock and you're rooting for whoever else, doesn't matter. I'm going to buy you a beer, you're going to buy me a beer, and we're going to hope we win the goddamn game.
See, now you're going to get me in trouble. Now I'm going to have DMs and text messages from everybody around Broncos country. Hey, how come you didn't bring my podcast in?
In a word.
I'm definitely leaving that to you.
In two words,
make progress.
Yeah, progress.
Progress.
No, but anyway, like I said, nothing's changing, y'all. We are going to be streaming on our normal locations on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. That's not changing at all. The only the thing that's changing is that we will also be streaming on all of MHRT's locations as well. Their streaming locations, which awesome, more exposure. And otherwise the podcast is staying exactly the same, and we'll be working more closely though with the guys of MHRT because hey, we'll be part of MHRT, so we'll be, there might be more times where Mike comes on or Glenn Hauser comes on or Mr. Boggins comes on, or we jump on with one of them, on their podcast because we're a member of we're part of the family now. Once you're in, you're in. You never get out.
And it's all about having each other's back. Like obviously we're not competing with each other, and we're not competing with other podcasts yet, but we will be. But it's just about having each other's back. Like if something goes wrong here, you have 5 other guys that are, able to step in, or if we've got a problem that you guys have an answer for, it's just about making sure we got each other's back. So, I mean, it's
right. And doing the best we can to help each other succeed. Absolutely.
Richie Rich says, because this is a better podcast. And he also says, thanks, Rich. He says, these guys are great. We appreciate it.
Brother,
I mean, I like to think that's why you guys have, officially invited us into the family, and we can't wait to be part of it. We're so
like Johnny
excited
said, like Johnny said earlier, it is a sense of validation because I mean, you never really know how good or how well you're doing, and now, and you know, unfortunately slash fortunately, people use viewership as a gauge of how well you're doing. But when you're new, starting off, such like we are, maybe the viewership isn't as high, and it was never a ding on us that hey, maybe we're not good enough, so we never really know. I mean, we have our family that tunes in all the time. My wife actually asked to come on, but she said she wants to wear her Titans jersey and just stand in the background. Told her that's unacceptable. But
all right.
but to hear
I'll
from
allow
you
it.
guys,
I'll allow it.
Do we play the Titans? Do we play the Titans this year?
No, we don't. No, we don't. I looked at the schedule. We don't. I'm trying. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting. We played them last year.
Well, the last time that they were
Denver.
the last time that the Broncos were in Tennessee, we went to game.
Yeah, we were
This
there.
is what you need to
Me,
do.
you, and Michael.
You
We
need
were
to
there.
wait until you need to wait until the Titans lose a really bad game, like against a bad team, and then have it be like the Titan of shame back behind you, wearing the jersey for the whole podcast.
Stand right here.
I don't know, Isaiah.
Head down, arms crossed, say nothing.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Don't
crazy
you
'cause
speak? Did I say you can speak? You know,
You can speak when the Titans win again. No, but it's crazy.
and then let us know how that plays out after the podcast.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I'm not gonna shame Ron. No.
I
You
love
guys
his wife
are-
with
I
all my
mean,
heart, but yeah, that's a death wish, buddy.
Yeah,
that'd be fair.
no.
But yeah, no, I mean it opens up so many possibilities. I mean, you've got Broncos Talk, which is on Tuesday, you've got MHRT on Thursday, you've got Nothing Rhymes on Sunday. So I mean there's opportunities for pre-game shows and post-game shows and recording reactions and jumping onto draft podcasts, and there's just so many things and opportunities that open up when you're able to be part of a big group.
And that's what I
jump in
really
on.
love. Yeah. I now I think my wife is home. But yeah, it's
She heard it. She heard it.
I don't know how they do that.
They feel a disturbance in the force, dude. It's
She was probably at the gym. She was like, I need to get home. He's talking.
yeah. Yeah, she's like something.
Yeah, I
is
mean that's
wrong.
the first thing that was running through my mind was not necessarily the viewership increase or the exposure. It's just wow, now we get to work with all these guys. We get to sit at the round table and actually discuss and have different discussions and actually mix and match different personalities and the way people run things and combine different knowledges. So one day, me and Johnny may be talking to someone with extreme draft knowledge versus someone who has great statistics knowledge versus someone who's good at off-season knowledge versus someone who's in with the sources and knows the thinking of the coaches. And so we just have to, and it's really going to challenge us to be able to adjust to what they're saying, to adjust to different topics, to hear what they're saying and saying, okay, oh, wow, I need to do some more research because you know a lot. So it's just, I mean, it's exciting. Once again, I would just want to thank you and the Mile High Mafia family for the opportunity because I'm extremely grateful. I want to thank you and the Mile High Mafia for the opportunity. Nobody can take that name.
We bring the God. Yeah, we are officially trademarking the Godfather here. You heard it first. You heard it first, folks.
I don't know about Mile High Mafia. I think somebody's got that one.
Okay. Well, still, you're the Godfather.
The Godfather works.
So
thank you for the opportunity. And we're grateful. So
yeah, for real. And now, and you know, and like I said, this is the final night. Everybody that's watching at home, this is the last night that we will be podcasting as Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue, the standalone podcast. From this moment on, we will be Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue, presented by MHRT. And you know, I'm very excited about that. You know, we're a big part of it. And
we're gonna create a banner for that? Are we gonna add that into the logo? How do we want to do that?
No, we're just gonna keep it as it is, but we're just part of the MHRT
you guys
family.
are already set. I got it done for you.
No, I told you.
It's already done.
I told you. He and I were working on this from what 6 p.m. to midnight last night. All the stuff.
No, it was like an hour, and you caught me with my pants down because you're like, "Hey, can you show me this?" And I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I had to make a bunch of stuff while I'm on the call with you. But I think I did okay.
Why are you in front of your computer with your pants down anyway? I don't want to know. I don't want to.
Hey, I'm sitting in my bed looking cute. I can do what I want.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, so let's talk the quarterback situation real quick. So Alex Smith, like what? Like,
Oh my God, Johnny texted me yesterday. Johnny, when did you text me this?
it was earlier today because I have been so out of the loop.
So late.
Probably, like I said, I've been busy, dude. I've worked. Do you have any idea how many hours I've worked this week? It has not been easy for me to keep up on my Broncos news. So yes, I just heard today. I just got caught up today that Alex Smith announced retirement, and I was like, no, because
it's one thing one thing about it is it's weird because Broncos country wanted to address the quarterback situation in some way, fashion, form, or manner this offseason. And slowly, we haven't done it yet, but everybody had a list of offseason quarterbacks that we could sign as a veteran backup. And we just watched them all just disappear slowly but surely, checked off the list. And we're all thinking, okay, what's going on? Why isn't George? Okay, now we have 5 more options. Okay, now we have 4 more. And one day, I think 3 options just got wiped off the board. She heard you run.
I like it.
And we just got wiped off the board. And Alex Smith was the last one. I understand Alex Smith said,
he's not the last one. He's the last one we could have gotten in free agency.
So yeah, in free agency. So I know somebody meant in the report, Alex Smith had fielded a few calls prior, and it came out that he said he wants to be a starting quarterback in the league. Yeah. He felt he deserved it. He felt he earned it. I agree.
Do you recognize this guy?
Tim is the Broncos fan. Loves American-made vehicles. What's up, brother?
It's our combo. He was our combo dude.
Yeah, I know exactly who Timmons is. He's a Broncos fan, and he loves American-made vehicles. He used to. I drove my Buick at that time, and our Buick's American-made.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he used to always comment on it. Yeah, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Miss you, brother. But Alex Smith was the last one, and he said he wanted to be a starter in the league, and he filled up a couple calls and like, you know what, sorry, but
he was not going to be a starter anymore. And it's not because he didn't have the ability. It's because of that. I honestly think it's because of that leg.
The leg became a liability.
It was. Literally, like, guy almost died.
Yeah,
from that injury.
It was gross.
It was disgusting.
It
nearly took his life, and and so now
was it Joe Theismann dad?
Worse.
It was worse.
Way worse.
Way worse. Something about like Washington does that to you.
The break was similar. The problem was that he got an infection in there and like gained.
Yeah. And it became a necrotizing fasciitis.
I must say it was as a result,
which is flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, and it almost
it became flesh-eating bacteria.
And it almost spread to the point where he almost lost his life.
It could have killed him. He was very close. So
somebody playing for Washington.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take my hat off. To Alex Smith. You were you were a chief. You were a chief. We'll go ahead and give you your AFC West props.
He went to 3 Pro Bowls there.
Yeah, so. You did. You definitely went to 3 Pro Bowls with the Chiefs, and respect. Yeah, good. We're happy that you're doing what you need to do to make your life better.
He'll get a job as a sportscaster. It'll be interesting to see if they. I'd love to see him and Tony Romo paired up, broadcasting games.
That would be interesting.
That'd actually be pretty cool. So. Or you put Tony Romo and Troy Aikman, 2 Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks, put them there, and that'd be pretty cool. He'll get a job as a sportcaster somewhere, but comeback player of the year, that was fantastic. Gone for 2 years. It's very hard to do that. I know there's a few players. Johnny Manziel tried it. He didn't do it. Josh Gordon tried it. Didn't do it. So there's a few players that try it and fail, and there's players that try it and do make it. So, props to Alex Smith. And I know that his final decision came after he called Urban Meyer, which was, I believe, his coach at Utah. And he said, he kind of conceded. He was like, okay, you know what? No one's going to take me as a starting quarterback. So, hey, coach, is it cool if I, come in? I'll mentor the young guy as he comes in. I'll be your backup. And even as a backup, Urban Meyer was, something happened. And I guess Urban Meyer wasn't too comfortable having him as a backup with that leg. Just something about that leg kind of set a lot of people back and made a lot of people reserve.
Rich Rich has
I broke
broken
my
his right leg twice. Less than fun.
Less than fun. Yeah.
Hey, I can come over there and break your left real quick, buddy. Get you a little closer to even.
Even it up. No,
So,
I'm
yes.
like, and Alex.
No,
Smith
no. You know what?
retiring.
No, yeah, Godfather. You need to send your enforcers on a mission to break some kneecaps.
I gotta send him
Bust some
the
kneecaps.
horse. I gotta send him the horse head first.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, no, not the horse head. I'm surrounded by them.
No,
Anyway.
like Alex Smith retiring was almost as sad as for me as Fitzpatrick signing somewhere else, because I was high on Fitzpatrick and Smith, and I like Smith because he's the complete opposite of what Drew Lock is. So if something wasn't working with Drew Lock, you have that opposite as a backup with the veteran experience that can step in and win you some
100%
games.
game manager. He was 100% an expert game manager. I mean,
I was huge. Yeah, I was huge on Alex Smith as well because one, he was comeback player of the year. Drew Lock needs to be comeback player of the year. He needed to learn from someone what it means to put your head down. What he's doing well now. We're going to talk about that. And
yeah, if we were signing yearbooks right now, Drew Lock needs to be most improved in the yearbook,
So he can learn that from Alex Smith. So Drew Lock is a gunslinger.
Have a great summer, Drew. Love you, never change.
Yes.
Yeah. But
so Drew Lock is
just kidding. Freaking change, Drew.
Drew Lock is a gunslinger.
I kept hearing the argument like, don't bring in Alex Smith because Drew Lock and Alex Smith are nothing alike.
No, they're not.
And I'm like, I didn't know that Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes were alike. I didn't know that Alex Smith and Kaepernick were alike. That doesn't make any sense.
And so what people were saying
was a dumb argument, in my opinion.
What people were saying was with the Ryan Fitzpatrick argument was you have Drew Lock and you have Ryan Fitzpatrick who are similar.
Same.
Drew Lock's not going to learn anything. Maybe he can learn something from Ryan Fitzpatrick, but nothing to add to his repertoire. And that's why I like Alex Smith, because Drew Lock is a gunslinger. Alex Smith is a game manager, and it meshes because one, it shows Drew Lock how to manage the game, and he adds that to his gunslinger game style. So now he knows how to run a 4-minute offense.
Regardless of how you feel about Drew Lock.
Throw the ball down the field in the first quarter.
Yeah. Regardless of how you feel about Drew Lock, 100%, you can see his work ethic. I mean, the guy has massive work ethic. Now it's just a matter of whatever he has to do. If he has to sleep with headphones on, running with tape running, over all night, Dexter's Laboratory kind of thing with the word cheese, where he wakes up in the morning and all he can say is the word cheese because the record got stuck, but whatever it takes, he needs to he's got the work ethic. He has he's taken the time, he's working out, he's working on doing the studying the tape, conditioning, practicing his progressions. He needs now to translate it onto the field. That's all I'm saying. I know that you're not as high on him on Dungus, and that's fine. I actually almost wore my Mizzou t-shirt tonight just because I'm hashtag Team Lock. But that's
what I'll say. Like, I will always support our starting quarterback. I will never not support them. The problem, and my thing is, like, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, he looked great in those last 5 games. He really didn't look that different. I mean, he still had the same issues, but the one thing that he changed, which made it work, and what I've been saying for months, is if you take out those interceptions, he looks a lot better than he does when he's throwing them. So, we can go the entire season with him having poor footwork because he's only missing throws by a couple inches. And you have those receivers that can make those.
And every man knows that a couple inches is all the difference.
That's right. All I'm saying is, like, he didn't look that much different in those last 5 games.
Right.
He just figured out how to not throw the interceptions.
Yeah. Right. Which is progress.
Progress. Progress.
But it's progress and improvement.
I think it's going to be hashtag progress.
Hashtag progress.
And it shows
hashtag Godfather, hashtag progress.
It shows
real quick. I'm gonna respond to Timmons here. Imagine Romo and Smith predicting every play during games.
Yeah, if I'm the defense, I'm just gonna put in headphones and listen to those two down on the field.
For real.
If I'm the middle linebacker, and Tony Romo's like, it's a run to the left. Smith's I agree. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the right.
Championships aside, the two of them were two of the greatest game managers that ever played the game. So
I love it when Romo calls it and then gets it wrong, and then he's like, "Well, that didn't work."
Oh, that didn't work. but Tony, I'm taking my Corona time.
But
Rich says Godfather is about kneecaps and cement boots, man. Swim with the fishes.
What movie was that? Where the first time I saw that, it was
Go swim with the fishes. Casino.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, yeah, it was Casino.
Classic.
But yeah, in regards to Drew Lock, he has, like you said, that he took away the interceptions. So there was definitely a game where we recognized that. And it was almost like he was listening to the fans. I swear, because we were complaining about he wasn't going through his progression. And the next game out there, this was against the Chargers.
Well, that's the thing.
The next game was against the Chargers, and we were like, he's not going through his progression. And then all of a sudden, he's checking down to the running back all game, checking down the running back.
He did that in college. Okay, like again, Mizzou's my alma mater. Okay, my wife and I were sports park supervisors for years back during the Chase Daniel era. But that was cool. Like we knew Chase Daniel. We worked at Mizzou Arena and we're in charge of Faroe Field and all that. We loved it. And so as a result, like I'm high on Drew Lock, not just because he's my Broncos quarterback. I love him as my Broncos quarterback, but because unlike a lot of the Broncos fans out there that have only watched a little bit of tape here and there, I was watching him every single Saturday for 4 years. I've seen him. I've seen what he's capable of. I know what he's capable of, and I've seen these. I saw him. I saw what he did once he finally was in a repeat system. Once he finally had a few more weapons around him. Albert O was an incredible weapon for him, and now he's here in Denver. And stay healthy, Albert. But I'm just saying. I really think Drew is going to blow some minds this season. I really do. I agree with you, Mundungus. He showed some progress at the end of last season, in the last 4 or 5 games. He showed progress. Progress. It's going to be like a tick thing. It's like we're having Tourette's syndrome every time we hear the word progress. He showed Drew Lock showed progress. Progress.
You can start doing it at Walmart, like
you guys can start doing that.
That's pretty awesome. Progress.
Johnny's gonna do it on the 911 dispatch call while he's taking it.
Yes. Can you please tell me, is your mother breathing? Yes, she is. That's progress. Progress.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Can we talk to your supervisor, please? But there's 2 reasons why I like Drew Lock a lot. There's 2 reasons. One, after last year and the criticism I saw during the season, while he made it a conscious effort, whether it came from the Mike Shula, Pat Shermer, whoever it came from, made a conscious effort to improve. So that shows his capacity to learn. That's hard to see real time. And to me, that's good. Second, I have absolutely loved the way he has handled the criticism this offseason. He has been, and I've never seen this. I don't, let me not say never. I've never paid attention to, I've never, in my head, in recent history, think of a young cat, a young player, and that grew up in the social media world, surrounded by social media, being a big figure, and going radio silent and not saying a thing. Yesterday was the first time he spoke to the press. It was the first time he spoke to the press.
Because he went to voluntary OTAs. You do you, Drew.
And he said,
you, baby.
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo-boo.
Do you, boo-boo. He's like,
you remember when I used to say that? You remember when I used to say that to our soldiers? That's right. You do you, boo-boo.
He said, I'm going to let my actions do the talking.
Yes.
That's all he said.
Yes.
That's all he said.
That's one thing about him that I've known for a long time, but I think Broncos country's needing to figure out is that he thrives on pressure. He really does. Like you start talking smack, like everybody's talking about. What was that video you shared back when back towards our pilot episode? The video when he got on that sideline and he was like throwing stuff back.
It was the Charger game where we came
back. Thank you. That was because he's like, no, I've got this. Shut up. Like, yeah. I hear you. I've got this. Shut up.
And part of that is that basketball mentality. In basketball, it's your individual talent can really show up and show out. When you're going one-on-one with a player and you guys are going back and forth in a high stakes game.
Speaking of which, talking trash to each other. Go Nuggets! You got the
enemy fans talking trash to you, and the player shoots your 3. You turn around, you talking back, you throw up the 3, and you keep moving. So I mean, it's that same mentality.
Can you do that again for me? Do that again.
But one thing I want to highlight is that
we can't do it like he
what
can do
he,
it.
I'm
what
trying.
he's done, what he's done
Thank you.
since it's over. So George Payton said, the new GM said, I've seen him every day since I've gotten here. He's in the building every day.
Every day. And he's the first to show up and the last to leave.
Who said that? That was Garrett Bowles? No.
Garrett Bowles said that.
No. Dalton, I think it was
Dalton
Reisner.
Either way, somebody has said he's the first one to show up. He's the last one to leave.
So George Payton said he sees him every day. Somebody else said he's the first to show up and the last to leave. Dalton Reisner also said, hey, he's been working with Peyton Manning. And then also the first day of voluntary OTAs when the NFLPA rep, Brandon Goodmanis, whatever, says that, the Broncos don't feel comfortable coming out.
I like to call him McMahon junk.
Yeah.
Gosh. The Broncos don't feel comfortable coming out and all this stuff. And like 21 plus players came out and Drew Lock led the pack. First one in. So he's showing one.
I'm here to work.
Two, and he literally stuck his head down since the offseason. What was it? December was Broncos' last game?
Yep. End of December.
Since December, put his head down, shut up to work. He has not stopped or taken a break since.
No. Heck, I think he went back to Kansas City for like 2 weeks to visit his parents. And I think it was like just 2 weeks, and then he was back in Denver. Like, well, I believe it was just 2 weeks, and then he stayed at home. And even and from something I heard somewhere, I don't remember. Do not quote me on this, but I remember hearing somewhere the entire time he was at home, he was like, he was out on like a local field, like in a park running progressions in his head and stuff. So I mean, he hasn't quit. And he's not gonna like, and here's what's gonna suck is if he blows it, it's gonna suck. But I'd rather see him blow it after proving that he's put in that much.
And if he blows it, the one thing I'm confident of is
if he Paxton lynched it, I'd be pissed.
His career as a Bronco will be over. His career in the NFL will not, because people were already calling for him now. Drew Lock would not be finishing in the NFL if he doesn't do good enough this year as a Denver Bronco.
But see, this is the part that scares me. If you look at throughout the history of the NFL, with someone that has shown what Drew Lock has shown, more than likely he's going to be a good quarterback, a mid-tier quarterback, right? So, he's not going to be top 5, top 3, top 2, top 1, but a good quarterback. The part that scares me is that if we have that good quarterback, normally good quarterbacks are good enough to get you to a winning season and the playoffs, but they're not good enough to win in the playoffs. So, for example, if we have that mid-tier quarterback, we're looking at like an Andy Dalton with the Bengals.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was literally waiting for you to say Andy Dalton.
The part that scares me about that is that, you've shown that with these all-star defenses that are like best in the NFL, they only last 1, 2, maybe 3 years, and then they're done. So at that point, let's say you have that mid-tier quarterback and you need a great quarterback. Well, at that point, you're sitting at like 15, 20, 25, 30 in the first round. And now you're having to give up 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, and possibly a player to move up high enough to go get that quarterback. Yeah. So that's why I've been on drafting a quarterback in the first for Denver, just because we're close enough to get one where it's not going to cost everything.
Well, it's still a potential to happen.
It is. I mean, it's potential. Right. There's potential to do anything right now. Like nobody. Yeah. And that Peyton or George Payton has not tipped his hand yet. Nobody knows anything that's about to happen in the draft for the Broncos. Right. And that's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that I'm going to be surprised. I feel like it's going to be a purchase.
It makes me angry because we do Broncos podcast and we can't give you nothing.
Yes, but at the same time, I do love that it's he's keeping the rest of the league guessing too.
Well, he came out in a press conference and he finally tipped his hand and told us what he was going to do. He said, "I like where we're at 9. People have been calling to trade up to number 9. We could trade back, or we could stay where we're at,
or we can move up."
Or we can move up. So
yeah, he didn't give you anything.
Like
That's what he
I
said.
said it. I
How
said
do
it
you
on
do
our
that?
pod. I said it on our pod this last Sunday. He is like he's a master at this. He's very shrewd and he's playing it close to the vest. He's answering their questions, but he is so ridiculously vague that that the media just doesn't pick up on it. So they're like, oh, breaking news! George Payton reports. Oh wait, this isn't a good quote.
They're like, they'll
I'm
probably
thinking-
ask you. They're like, "Hey George, so what are you gonna do with your? What you're thinking for the draft? What are you
I'm
gonna
gonna draft
do?
players.
And he's like, we're gonna participate in the draft.
Yep,
And,
I'm gonna choose some players. I'm gonna bring some players to Denver.
He's like, we're gonna.
And they're like, yes, I love it. He's gonna draft players. I love it.
And honestly, I think that with Alex Smith having retired, you got 3 options. You got move up in the first.
Isaiah, throw up the 3. Throw it up.
Yeah,
There
throw
it
up the
is.
3.
Yeah.
You got Denver moves up for a first round quarterback. Denver takes Davis or Amond. No, not Davis. Mills or Amond.
I was about to say
Mills or Mond.
Mills.
Mills
or Kellen Mond.
Davis, yeah, Mills and Mond. Or we don't do quarterback until like the 5th, 6th, or 7th, and we go get like Gardner Minshew.
Nah.
Because I would at least be okay with that. And here's the reason why. He's young enough that he could fill in for longer, and he did get the Jaguars to like a 6-6 record.
Yeah,
And
he's young enough that he can fill out those shorts.
But the Jags were terrible.
You think he's better than Drew?
Bad. I don't know.
I don't. I think
and honestly,
I think if anything,
well,
Drew
you
has the
won't
same
know
ceiling.
And honestly, you won't know that until you get Minshew on a roster that is close or comparable to the Broncos roster.
Yeah, because the Jags are.
Because I mean, you can sit here and say, "Oh, Darnold is the worst quarterback ever." Well, who did he have to work with?
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying he's not trash, but you can't You can't say that he's ruined until you put him on a team where there's actual talent on the roster.
All I'm saying is, you rock those shorts, Minshew. You rock those.
Rock
short
him
shorts.
all you want. Like if he can grow his Fu Manchu out and tie.
He's trying to be Joe Namath.
I really want to see him do a Nair commercial. I'm just saying.
He's trying to be Joe Namath. Joe Namath started that. The handlebar mustache with the sideburns. He's really trying to be Joe Namath.
No, the person that started that was Tom Selleck as Magnum PI. Read a book. God.
Yeah, but his mustache isn't as nearly good as as Tom Selleck's.
That's true. Tom Selleck's mustache is the thing.
How much do you think he pays for someone? Because he doesn't do it himself.
Oh well,
I mean,
maybe.
No. So I mean, because that's his look. I'm pretty sure.
I actually heard somewhere. I don't remember. I heard Tom Selleck has his mustache insured for something like $1.7 million.
I'm pretty sure his mustache is insured.
Yep.
So his barber, when Tom Selleck walks to the barber,
oh, darn it!
If his barber doesn't come to him, and Tom says, "You know what? I'm gonna come to you today." Like the person that's sitting in his barber chair, does he like get up and move, or he's like, "Let me finish," or
I don't know. All I know is if I was that barber, I'd be sitting there like one hair at a time.
Could you imagine being that barber? Like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap.
But it's probably been the same barber for 30, 40 years.
And then you have Magnum PI looking up
coming at him like this. 30, 40 years. He's like,
his name's Sal, and he's owned the same barbershop for 3 generations.
It's Tony.
Yeah, but no, what do you call it in Parks and Rec? Salvatore.
Yeah, Salvatore.
But barber's probably pretty old. Sell it going to his barber when he was 9 with his mustache. Like, hey, you need to.
It's peach fuzz.
But yeah, so how would we? So you said get a quarterback in the late rounds and then go for Gardner Minshew. So we'd have to. Is Gardner Minshew's not a free agent? We have to trade.
No, you'd have to trade for him. But I don't think his cost would be that
possibly
much,
Nick Foles is another one. Good God, no. But Nick Foles.
Who does Nick Foles play for?
Right, meow. The Bears. The Bears.
And Andy Dalton's just became the starting quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah, I'll start.
Yeah.
Woo!
So
Bears are going.
I don't know what the Bears are thinking.
So what's the cost for Nick Foles, and what's the cost for
half a peanut butter and jelly, half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Honestly, I think the cost would probably be the same. The problem is going to be the contract because Nick Foles is going to want a higher contract than Minshew.
Good luck, buddy.
How much is he getting paid now?
He won a Super Bowl. Like he's going to demand more money. He just is.
Yeah, I know. So how much what would it cost for Gardner Minshew? What would it cost to trade for? I mean, what would they want? A future draft pick and so I mean I'm pretty sure we'll probably give away. It makes sense. Deshaun Hamilton will probably go to the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence needs another.
I mean, Deshaun Hamilton needs to get traded. It's in the best interest of the Broncos. It's in his best interest.
You could probably do a straight up for Hamilton and Minshew.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably could.
The Jaguars do need some.
I mean, we can sweeten the pot. Like here, you can have Hamilton. You can also have Driscoll
and a half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And a half-eaten peanut butter jelly, which would be Driscoll.
Yes,
you can have Driscoll and you can have Hamilton.
But they have to. But they wouldn't go for Driscoll because they'd have to eat his contract, wouldn't they?
No, a half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So with their contracts,
his contract is high. He'd have to probably. They'd have to let Denver would have to let him go, and then
because he's old. It's because he's been around so long. He sucks. But I mean, and that is putting it like nicely. That is me being as Christian and nice as I can possibly be. Yeah. He sucks, but he's been in the league long enough that he's garnering veteran money because he has the time in service, basically.
So, but even if we relieve Jeff Driscoll because he's under contract this year, this is last on the contract. We'd have to pay out his contract.
Yeah.
Which is what? How much do we owe him this year? $5 million? I think he signed a 2-year, $10 million.
5.6,
5 or 6, somewhere in there.
I think it's 5.6 or 5.7, somewhere around there.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a cap hit though. I don't think there's a dead.
I don't think it's a cap hit. It's not a dead money, but I mean, anyway,
we can afford it. So I mean,
anyway, plain and simple, Deshaun Hamilton needs to be traded. He deserves it. First of all, he deserves a chance. He deserves a chance somewhere else.
Yeah.
Period. You know, I was really sad to see DeMarcus Walker leave because his potential was absolutely.
I liked him better than Draymond Jones.
Absolutely wasted in Denver.
Joseph,
yeah. Thanks, Vance. You screwed that up.
Everybody talks about Draymond Jones being the up and comer. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch film because maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Draymond Jones has more of an upside than Walker does. I think
Tony made something up he can't refuse.
I do think that Draymond Jones is going to end up being the better player than DeMarcus Walker.
I do agree.
I did like DeMarcus Walker as depth to fill in.
I think that DeMarcus Walker, if he had been used to his potential early on, used in the proper way, he could have been amazing for Denver. I really believe that. I mean, Isaiah, you and I remember. I absolutely remember this, Isaiah. You were crashing on my couch in my house in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Whatever. Tell everybody.
What?
Go ahead.
You were living.
Go ahead, tell everybody.
Listen. Mike was in the Army. He knows what the barracks were like. Hey, if buddy offers you a couch for a couple of days with TV and free food, are you going to turn it down? No.
I was married with kids. I didn't live in the barracks.
Yeah, but you know guys that did. You know guys that did.
So Mike, you've never lived in the barracks.
And they crashed on your couch.
I mean, obviously in basic and AIT I did, but outside of that, no, I had a house.
Oh my God. You don't know. You're not grassroots.
Hey man.
But let me pose a question.
Just because I found somebody early, not my fault.
Hey, I was married when I joined. Anyway,
I was just.
But anyway, real quick, we're getting to the point now where I got to start wrapping this up because the wife is starting to send me the text messages. But you were crashing on my couch before the 2017 draft.
Mm-hmm.
I remember coming in and being like, Isaiah, you've got to watch this guy. And I pulled up video and I cast it to my big screen in the living room, and we watched DeMarcus Walker's Florida State tape.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
making it up.
I believe it.
To be fair, he might have had a few too many of these, but
I believe it because I think that might have been the same year we watched film on Isaiah McKenzie.
We watched it on Isaiah McKenzie. We watched it on a bunch.
Yeah,
of
I remember. Yeah, we watched
Anyway,
we watched Deshaun Hamilton too. We watched Deshaun.
They were all in that
Fred
class.
Brown. Yeah,
the only member of that class that's left in Denver is Garrett Bowles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's sad.
So let me pose
it's gonna go. It's one of the worst draft classes in history.
Yeah.
Well, but now you've got the players that are on the other teams. They aren't looking half bad. Like
Yeah.
Booker doesn't look half bad. Isaiah McKenzie, he stepped it up last season.
Yeah,
for the Bills, yeah.
It's like, thanks, Joseph. You jerk.
Well, I was talking to
Hmm.
Johnny earlier about this. Garrett Bowles really started a trend with shorter tackles who are more athletic. Like I told Johnny, I said, Johnny, did you know Penny Sewell is only 6'4"?
Richie Rich. Oh, he helped us out. Thanks for the research, Rich. He says only so this is in terms of Jeff Driscoll. Only guarantees dead cap of 75 grand.
750,000.
Or sorry, 750 grand. Shut up. I'm tired. Jeff's hit this season is 3.2 mil.
Okay, that's much better. Okay, that's not bad. So
and then he tells me Viking run, she's gonna kill you.
So Garrett Bowles is, what is he, 6'4", 6'5"? He's a shorter tackle, but he's more athletic.
He's very athletic, but he also has a shorter
molded
wingspan.
him.
Like his arms aren't as long as you'd expect for a left tackle.
That started a trend. So what it was before it was 6'7", 6'8", 6'6", 325, 330 tackles because you had defensive ends rushing you, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 270. You had Reggie Whites coming at you.
Yeah.
So you had bigger tackles for bigger defensive ends. But since now you have outside linebackers who are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and 245 to 265, lean and fast and strong, you get a shorter tackle. Garrett Bowles really began to start that trend when he was drafted. Penny Sewell looks huge on TV, and then they showed me his metrics. He's only 6'4". So they started a trend. So Wizard, you're saying that Broncos cannot develop players? Yeah.
Outside of Bowles and Munchak, I don't think Bowles is where he's at without Munchak.
Agreed.
No. So Garrett Bowles started that. So because the rushing off the edge changed, the left tackle dynamics changed. Yeah, Penny Sewell's the number one tackle in the draft, debatably.
I like Rashawn Slater better.
I do too. I think Rashawn Slater ran a faster 40 as well.
I'm starting to look at Tevin Jenkins too. That guy's
what's the one that protected Trey Lance up in North Dakota? What's his name?
Dylan Ramones.
I like him. I like him too. I would not be against getting him. So
this question, let me pose this question.
Last posed question before we got to get out of here. Before my wife comes marching.
Before we're all divorced.
Yeah. I think So I think it's at first it was Caleb Farley.
He's scared, man. He felt her presence.
So at first it was Caleb Farley. Now there's more talk that we're gonna the possibility of drafting Micah Parsons at 9. And if Trey Lance is going to be on the board at 9, Micah Parsons will be on the board at 9. So the question is, if the Broncos draft him, what do we do with Justin Sternad? Because he didn't play a single snap last year. Now this year, he's saying he's coming back.
Continue to develop him.
He's coming back. Do we give him a shot and make Micah Parsons earn it? Or I'm thinking they're trying to draft someone. They're drafting someone the number 9 pick, first round. They're looking to throw someone in there now. So do you throw Micah Parsons in there now and let Justin Sternad develop? Or do you throw Justin Sternad in there who's the incumbent and let Micah Parsons
I think it becomes a competition to figure out who's going to show up.
Off-season games, see who earns it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mike?
Honestly, I think that it would be Parsons replacing I call him Honey Bear, but
Josie Jewell.
Josie Jewell. And honestly, I think that they might take a look at Sternad over Johnson because Johnson is good, but he doesn't do pass coverage.
Yeah.
So you're talking about as starters?
Yeah, I think it could be a competition.
You think they're gonna start Sternad and Parsons over?
Why not?
I think it would be a 4-way competition. But I think that they would give Sternad a shot over either Honey Bear or Johnson. Same thing with Parsons. But I think there could be a possibility that it's Parsons and Sternad.
So you think it's going to be a mix and match combo, like one play on second down and 7, you might have Parsons and Jewell, and then the next one you have Johnson and Sternad.
Yeah, like an obvious pass play, you put in the pass coverage, and then the obvious, like the first down run plays, you throw in the heavy hitters to cover the run.
Well, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough when they run in a no huddle. So they might have
Right.
to.
So then
thanks,
it
Rich.
would be Sternod and it would be Parsons. But honestly, I don't see Denver taking Parsons. I don't.
I don't either.
You don't.
No.
I
Not
don't
with-
see it happening.
Because like so there was like initially that little character concern. And then
Mhm.
like a week or two ago, they came out with the whole story of what happened. Not
It's
gonna
bad.
happen. It's bad. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like if
You-
it was one and like with us being in the military, like we think of some messed up things.
It's
that's
field
too
grade.
far.
It's
yeah,
field
that
grade.
that
It's
but
field grade Article
I went and read that. He should, if any of that is true,
He's lucky he's not in jail.
allegedly for legal purposes, allegedly, like Johnny, just like you said,
Yeah.
he's lucky he's not in jail.
Well,
So,
he's
but
not in
he's,
prison.
but he's not gonna
he
he's not
came
gonna
out
drop
with
out of the first
excuse of-
round.
Well, no, and he came out with the excuse of, "Oh, I was
young.
a kid." I never thought about doing that when I was young. Sorry,
I was young. I was on a
not
football
normal
team.
thought. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
I played
like
sports.
Being in the army, like we come up with some pretty messed up things in our head. Those ain't it.
Yeah.
That's
Come on,
yeah, that's
Isaiah
not-
and I were in the infantry. You want to tell me
That's
that
what
there
I'm
still
saying.
isn't some versions of hazing in the infantry? You're out of your mind.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not doing any of that.
Like
But
that.
you're a liar.
Yeah.
Like that.
Infantry.
And
Not
it's
like
not
that.
just
No,
sports,
not
it's-
like that.
that's
No,
what I'm saying.
no,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
Like there's
multiple
levels.
personnel.
There
Yeah.
are levels of things that are good, bad, and no. And his is like no.
Gross. Yeah, it's like good, bad, no, and his is gross.
Well, honestly, I think like if we traded, like the only way I see, like Parsons is probably going to go 20 to 30 somewhere. In there.
So you don't think he'll drop out of the first round?
No, he'll stay in the first round, but we won't take him.
So would
Honestly, I
Jeremiah
I think
Lusu get drafted before him?
probably.
Would you mind taking him at 9?
No,
JOK,
I'd
Jamin
have-
Davis.
I'd rather trade back and have Jamin Davis.
Okay, so I thought about this today. What if we trade back with the Patriots at 15? But this is, if I'm George Payton, I'm telling, if you're calling me and you're New England and I know you want a quarterback because I know he's going to fall to us, I'm going to say, like, okay, you can have him. I want your number 15 pick and I also want your second round pick. So that way we have 2 second round picks within right close to each other.
It'll happen.
So that way at 15, you can get maybe Rashawn Slater as a tackle.
Or Jenkins or Darisaw. Darisaw would be good.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can get a
And then-
tackle, and then the second round you can get Caleb Farley's probably still going to be there if we still want him.
Or you
And
can
grab a
even use
quarterback
that
with our
capital.
second.
Kellen Moore.
Or you
Kellen
can
Mond.
even
Kellen
use that
Mond.
capital to move back up to the late first round. I mean, it would be possible.
No,
Yeah,
you know
so
what?
I
mean-
So I mean,
No one's gonna
there's
do
and
You're not
I
gonna drop-
still
The
I still
Bears
don't
did
know
that just
about-
2 years ago.
no,
Yeah,
not this
and
draft.
we did it too when we went up to grab Tebow, but I don't think that's going to happen just because
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm saying it is a possibility.
Yeah, the level of difference between like 15 and like 35 is pretty negligible. Like they're all like really, really good in between there. So,
Yeah,
I mean
so-
you wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it would like trade back. If they trade back to like 15, it's a tackle, and then you take like a Jamin Davis and a quarterback in the second.
Yep, I agree. So anyway, hey guys, I love
So you wouldn't
guys.
need a quarterback? My bad, Johnny. Last question. So you
Yeah,
wouldn't?
hurry up.
So you think we can push cornerback in the further rounds because we got Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still have Michael Ojemudia. I agree with that.
Yeah,
So
and you still got what's not Ojemudia, the other one, Bassie.
Yeah, he said
they're come back from injury. So we'll get Rashawn Slater because we traded back at 15, and then we'll
Right.
get Kellen Mond, and you said
Jamin Davis.
you said Jamin Davis.
I would like to see
Yep.
Jamin Davis. I like Jamin
we
Davis.
we'll be done with the draft
Or-
right there.
Or Jabril Cox.
Yes.
That's what I like. Jabril Cox. Yes. We'll be done with the draft. We got the linebacker covered. Position
Done.
covered.
Go
We got
home.
a backup for Juwan James. And
Progress!
then we got quarterback.
Progress.
All right. So that being said, I love you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call this now because we're over the hour mark and wife is getting antsy for me to come down and help with the kids and get the baby in bed. And
Yeah, I'm screaming in there about something. So
Yo,
I'm
Isaiah,
in
you
trouble
think
too.
my life's crazy with my 3? Mike's got number 6 on the way.
Yep.
Me and the wife ain't even got one.
Yeah, but you're also a baby.
Hey, guess what? Your caricature just came in.
Oh boy. I'm a caricature.
Don't show it yet. Don't show it yet. Wait till Sunday.
I won't.
Oh, you're gonna send it to me. You gotta at least send it to
I'll
me.
send it to you, and then yours. I'll get yours ordered tonight.
Sweet. All right. Hey, so I love you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do Mike. Thank you for joining us tonight and announcing our big news that we have joined your family. We cannot wait to be a part of this family, guys. That's it. On this next Sunday, we are officially members of the Mile High Roundtable, the MHRT podcast. So hey, that's pretty awesome. Again, as always, like what you saw, like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, hit that notification bell, everybody. Get us out there. Get us out there because we are going to go places. I truly believe that. I believe the sky for Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I truly believe the sky is the limit.
Yes,
we have a high ceiling. We have a high ceiling and a high floor. What's up? So,
thank you to Mike.
Hit that notification bell. Thank you to thank you for coming on the day of your daughter's wedding. You can find us on Twitter at nothing_rhymes_. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nothingrhymesdb4L. Denver Broncos for life. You can search us on YouTube. Nothing. I'm going to go ahead and change that because now it is just Nothing Rhymes Podcast. Thank you, marketing god. You can find us on Sounder, just the audio, RSS, at Nothing Rhymes, orangeblue.sounder.fm, or just go search us right now on Spotify or Stitcher. You can just listen to the audio files there. You can find me at Broncos_Viking on Twitter. You can find Isaiah at word_over_world. And you can find our awesome, the godfather of the MHRT,
Two hands.
At Broncos Wizard, Mundungus Creevy. Thank you for joining us, brother. Thank you. Fast. Yeah. We thank you all that have joined us, and we love you all. We're going to give you, a mile high five, and that's right. It's a new thing. I'm making it a thing, Mike. Mile high five.
I like it. Mile high five. I like that.
It's a mile high five. Go down
and slap the thighs. Slap.
So there it is. Mile high five, everybody. Mile high salute. We love you. Thank you for joining us on Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. We will see you presented by MHRT this Sunday at 5 Central. 5
be
Central,
there, be square.
4 o'clock Mountain. 4 o'clock Mountain. If you can't figure out
find a horse head in your bed.
Yeah. Progress. If you can't find us, if you can't figure out Eastern or Pacific at that point, you don't deserve to be here. So we will see you this Sunday. All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you very much. Mile high salute and good night. Go Broncos. All right, guys. That was fun.
Still live, by the way.